The government rested in its case in the Kim Taylor trial, ending witness testimony a little earlier than expected. Attorneys for the Department of Justice decided not to call elected officials to the stand. Those officials would have testified. Kim and Jeremy Taylor told them they'd secure Vietnamese votes for those officials if they in fact donated to Jeremy Taylor's campaign. The government is relying on the testimony of more than a dozen witnesses who say Kim Taylor completed voting request forms on their behalf, failed to translate warnings that voting for their children was illegal, and in some cases filled out ballots in the names of the witnesses. KTIV's Matt Hoffman has more from day 4 of this federal voting trial.
The government ended its case Thursday, surprising the judge and defense counsel with just how quickly the case has proceeded. But the government's last witness was its FBI case agent, who summarized the case as follows: that Kim Taylor crossed the line from helping Vietnamese voters to filling out the forms herself and ultimately using other people's ballots to vote for her husband. Now, as a reminder, cameras aren't allowed inside the federal courts, so that's why we're showing you this video of Kim Taylor walking to court on Monday morning. Kim Taylor seemed emotional as the FBI agent recounted the operation that led to her arrest under cross-examination. According to the agent, Kim Taylor was under surveillance for 5 or 6 days prior to her 7 a.m. arrest back in January. Kim Taylor's defense attorney pointed out the FBI had her home under aerial surveillance from a plane, and they asked the FBI agent why he didn't just call her attorney and ask Kim Taylor to turn herself in. The FBI agent testified that after he arrested Kim Taylor, she said, quote, "This case is going to make me famous and my face will be on TV," end quote. Also, the government hinted at a motive for Kim Taylor's alleged crimes, aside from simply wanting to help her husband. The FBI agent testified that Taylors were in financial trouble and that if he would have won a Congress seat, he would have made more than $170,000 a year. That's a substantial increase from his salary back in 2020. Kim Taylor's defense attorney countered that the Taylors had their mortgage in forbearance because of COVID-19, and that Kim Taylor owns a salon, and that Jeremy Taylor was employed with the school system and the National Guard. Now, the judge will decide the rest of the trial schedule coming up. The lawyers will appear for a motions hearing Friday morning, but the jury is actually expected back to hear the defense case on Monday. It's exactly unclear when the case will go for jury deliberation. In Sioux City, Matt Hoffman, KTIV News 4.
And